All right, moving on the entertainment. Just next up, Mohbad's wife, Wunmi, begs father-in-law to lay singer to rest. Wunmi, the young widow of singer Mohbad, has taken to social media to beg the public to appeal to her father-in-law, Joseph Aloba, to allow her husband's body to be buried so he can actually rest in peace. The late Mohbad died on September 12, 2023, and he was buried. However, his body was exhumed the day after for investigation purposes. His body has since been in the mortuary as his father insists that it can only be buried after a DNA test has been done on Mohbad's son, Liam, to determine the child's paternity. In a lengthy post shared on Instagram on Wednesday, March 12, Wunmi said it's been 18 months since her husband Mohbad died, yet he hasn't been buried. She wrote, and I quote, "It has been 18 months since my husband left this world. 18 months of waking up every day to a reality I have never asked for. 18 months of missing him with every breath I take. 18 months of carrying the weight of being both mother and father to our now 23-month-old child. 18 months of struggling to exist in a world where the love of my life is no longer beside me," end quote. She claimed that her father-in-law is keeping his body in the morgue not out of grief or love, but for the attention and the money he continues to receive from people. Wunmi went on, and I quote, "To the general public, I am pleading with you, help me ask my father-in-law to bury my husband. There is no reason, no justification for why his body is still lying in the morgue after all this time. No reason why the man I vowed to love forever has been left in cold storage, denied the dignity of a final resting place. I am not just a widow, I am a woman whose entire world was shattered in an instant. A woman forced to carry out only her grief, not only her grief, but the weight of injustice, the cruelty of people who see her pain as entertainment. A woman who is now left with no choice but to beg. Beg for my husband to be buried, beg for human decency, beg for what should have been done long ago," end quote.
This whole thing has been on for so long, and the last time Wunmi spoke, she opened up on some things, and she also still spoke about this, that Mohbad needs to be buried. We've also seen a lot of celebrities ask the question why he has still not been buried, because they've done everything they need to do. And since her father-in-law said he wanted the DNA done, she said she was ready for it. And now he's saying he wants to take his time. I don't know what's delaying, but I feel like at least so he can rest in peace, let him be buried.
Well, I mean, this case is actually very, it's sad to see it take this dimension, take this direction. For one thing, it's also sad to see that the person who seems to be wiser at this point, who seems to have wiser words, wiser thinking, is the child and not the parent. Wunmi seems to be a woman beyond her years. She seems to talk a lot out of wisdom. For some time, you know, she didn't talk. Over time, she didn't make any appearances until recently. She started making media rounds and doing appearances, and it turns out that she's actually wise beyond her years. She's saying a lot of facts here. Also, it's also against the tradition that I know in Yoruba land, in Nigeria. You know, when a child passes on before the parents, it is just right that you bury that child. Sometimes the parents don't even see the child, nothing. You bury that child, let the child go. It's against every tradition. They say you wanted DNA test, I mean, and they're ready to conduct the DNA test, and you're not doing it, but you're going on TikTok live every other time. You're going on interviews, you're saying a lot of things. What exactly do you want? Your son has passed on for over how many months? 18 months. It's only right that, you know, this thing is laid to rest. What else do you want to gain from it? What else? What sort of social media clouds do you want to gain from all of this? I think it's time to just let him go.
It's been too long.